You're starting this one, by the way. I have it in it for the long haul.
Are you guys ready to be in it for the long haul?
See how close I am? Why are you sideways? Don't talk to me here. Don't talk to me
Okay, but
here.
I like to see your cute face.
You can see it when I'm in bed with you.
But the lights are always out.
You're still sideways to the microphone.
Abby, fine. I like to see your face. This is hard. I don't like that this is
I'm going to end up
here
putting
now.
a wall up. I'm going to put a wall up between us.
That's so sad.
Just listen here and the difference when I stand here.
Okay,
See that?
I know
3,
what's best for the podcast.
2,
Welcome to episode 11 of the Take It or Leavitt podcast. Once.
Means 11 en español. Si quieres escuchar el podcast en español,
No.
todavía no puedes.
No, I wouldn't know what was going on. This episode, we're talking about how to adjust your mindset so you're prepared for adjusting for the long haul.
In it for the long haul.
So you can be in it for the long haul and get used to the new normal.
I didn't like that intro.
Okay, well.
We're going to redo that one.
All right. YouTubers, you get to see how many times Evan's going to make me redo this.
No, I mean, it was just bad. Angelic. I didn't like what I said.
Oh, okay.
3, 2.
Welcome to episode 10 of the Take It or Leavitt podcast. Oh, shoot, it's episode 11.
3, 2.
Welcome to episode 11 of the Take It or Leavitt podcast. This episode, we're going to touch on adjusting your mindset so you can be in things for the long haul when you've got to make some adjustments.
Get ready.
Get ready for that new normal.
Buckle up. Sit down if you're standing.
Sorry, you guys don't get to hear the jingle. Are you starting or am I?
I can.
Okay, cool.
This episode should be a little bit more interesting than our last one. Obviously, our last one was sent in by a listener, gardening. It's kind of a tip to help you guys basically cope with the stresses and anxieties and challenges that you're facing.
And if you're into gardening, maybe it's really exciting
maybe you
for you.
love to do it, and you're like, woo,
Maybe you've
masterclass
listened to
me up.
that episode 3 times. You know, we won't judge you.
We would applaud you for listening 3 times. We'd also applaud you if you sat close to the microphone.
I'm working on it. My low back is tired from that bike ride we went on.
No, guys, we wanted to share this episode because we're not sure, like pretty much everyone else in the entire world is unsure about how long this pandemic or phase or challenge is going to last. Because we have no end in sight. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. Obviously, we know that people are working tirelessly, constantly to find a cure, to find a vaccine, and when that happens, they'll be working tirelessly, continuing to build the vaccine and get it to the population. But I think we all need to take into consideration what things are going to change and how they're going to change our lives, or the lives of businesses, or the lives of our children, or the lives of pretty much anything and everything, because there's a new normal now.
So my thoughts behind doing an episode like this, partially because I know that a lot of people are out there struggling with a number of different things because of this crisis, because of the coronavirus. And I've also got the impression that a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll just put this off until the coronavirus is over.
Which is not smart.
We're in a, like, this is it. Like, we can continue to put our life off because we're wanting things to be back to normal, but we just need to adjust. So we're going to talk more about that.
Well, when you were sharing that, it comes down. It made me think of, I need to start my New Year's resolution on January 1st.
Oh yeah.
Don't wait for something to start. Does that make sense? Don't wait on something for you to start, especially if it really has no bearing. Like, obviously, I'm going to start a business and I'm in 8th grade. It's like, you could try and start the business depending on what it is, but if you want to start a multi-million-dollar business, maybe you wait until you graduate high school and you have the time and you're not forced to go to school every day. But even thinking about that, you can start anytime. It's not going to hurt, even if you're able to produce 1 hour or 30 minutes or 15 minutes a day towards whatever that is. So that's why we wanted to share this episode, because there is no end, in quotations, to this situation that we're all in.
Yeah, it's not going to be like New Year's where it's like, oh, one day it's December 31st and boom, the next day it's January 1st. It's gonna change gradually, because what's happening now is changing the way the entire world works. It's not just like, oh, we're gonna go back to everything being happy-do and normal. It's everything's gonna be different, and if we don't choose to adapt, we're gonna get left behind.
Yeah, and we've seen it I've seen it, and I obviously don't know how businesses are going to handle when things go quote unquote back to normal. I've seen that so many businesses can run with not as many people going into the office.
Yeah.
The businesses still function. Now, are the businesses going to learn and change from this? Maybe not, but I think employees are going to realize, I don't actually have to be in the office for 40, 50 hours a week. I can do a lot of this from home.
I don't have to commute an hour and a half. I could just stay at home.
Now, we've heard some people say the job is easier to do at work, and the actual divide between bringing work home and staying at home and working has been really challenging, because it's hard to get into the work mindset. But going back to staying in it for the long haul, act like this is never going to end. And then think about what you would do and how you would do it to start whatever it is you want to start, or to continue to do whatever it is you're trying to continue to do.
And we obviously understand that, like, if you're under an immense amount of stress, like we've talked about in previous episodes about the coronavirus, we're not expecting you to
write a novel.
Cure cancer tomorrow. We're talking about this because we want people to continue to progress despite the external circumstances. If we can learn how to adapt our own selves no matter the external circumstances, then nothing will be able to hold us back in the future.
It's like, oh, I can't do this because my mom, or when we stop blaming others, or we stop limiting ourselves, we will actually surprise ourselves on how much we can do. Sam and I, during this pandemic, have realized, you know what, let's create more content. Guys, we're going to level with you. We're not getting a ton more listens, but we're providing content to those people who do listen, because we don't know their situations. We know certain people are out of work. We know certain listeners are in school, so they have more free time to listen. But we realized, you know what? We have more free time too, and we can't go out. So instead of going out, we're going to kind of dive in and do more work for the podcast, even though it doesn't really give us any fruits back, aside from just feeling the joy and happiness of doing this together and creating content for others, even though at times I am frustrated doing it, and I know Sam is too.
Yeah, like lately it's been, we want to have something that gives us more purpose. Like, obviously our jobs both give us...
This is our legacy.
Where did that come from?
Well, it's going to be on the internet, so it's never going to go away.
It's true, it's never going to go away. Never. So we're creating this because at the end of the day, it's mostly for us. It's for us to learn and to grow together and to have something to look forward to, kind of like our cute little garden next door. But we can use this time to capitalize not on becoming this crazy productive person
or making a ton of money at this time. It's like, I think now's the time to look for something that you love to do and try and do it.
Yeah, there's less risk in trying something new because you've got more time. It's not, maybe if you're investing a lot of money, there might be more risk or something like that. But
that makes me think of, I know I just kind of cut you off, but it made me think of, if you were to try something and fail, right now would be the time. And it sounds weird and it doesn't justify failure, but
failure's okay.
Everyone else is failing right now. Think about this. You've got 3 businesses. You've got a restaurant, you've got a gym, and you've got a hair salon.
Yep.
All 3 got impacted by the coronavirus and were shut down. Wouldn't you rather have invested all your effort doing your best and trying to keep that business alive, and then having it be successful after this all ends or whatever? Or would you be bummed and upset if you had tried all you wanted and then it failed? I know that obviously everyone's gonna say, I want it to be successful, but think about this. everyone just got dealt crappy cards. Everyone is expected to fail. Trying your hardest and pushing your best not to, and knowing you tried your best not to, and still failing, is what I mean in saying failure can be justified at that aspect. Because frankly, the economy literally just got a big, large turd sack dropped right on it. But if you try your best and succeed, that's great. But if you try your best and fail, that's something to build upon and grow from, because obviously some circumstances are still in your hands, but a lot of them are out of your hands, especially in a business where the government literally says, everybody stay home.
Well, and in terms of business, so many businesses began, flourished, and exploded after the recession in 2008. So this could be a great time for businesses, but also a great time for so many people. We're learning to slow down. We're learning to recognize that there's so many more things that are important.
You know what? I need to spend more time with my kids. Or
Yeah.
I actually should probably take a break. I was working 80 hours a week.
Yeah, I need to slow down. I need to listen to my body better. There have been a lot of people, it was an episode we talked about before where everybody's like, oh, you have to lose weight. You're going to come out the Corona 15 or Corona 19 or whatever, which I think is stupid, because if we come out of this alive, I think we've done enough.
Yeah, come out of it, alive and mentally healthier.
Yeah.
Now's the time to kind of recharge the batteries, and this is where we go back to those businesses in the beginning where, okay, how many of your employees actually do need to commute and come to work? How many of your employees can stay home, and how often do you need to travel? Can you just do a Zoom meeting to contact? Obviously, there are other situations where a boss, a colleague, an employee needs to travel in order to build, grow, and develop. Mm-hmm. But there are all those situations where it's how much of a call center really needs to be inside of a call center. Why can't you just give them the tools necessary and have them do it from home?
Yeah.
Now again, the employee might even say, I'd rather do it at a call center because I want to separate home from work. Yeah. Which, again, to each his own.
Yeah.
But there are those people who say, you know what, I'd rather do it at home, and I can have my phone on me and I can be spending time with my kids, and when I get a call, boom, I take the call. It's like, that's just the small things that we've noticed, and the world is changing. We know business, we know the economy, we know pretty much everyone is having to be on their toes and be prepared and pivot to whatever's coming at them.
So one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is I listened to a podcast the other day that talked about stress, and it was talking about it in the frame of coronavirus and all the stress that everybody's feeling. And at the end, it was the Nike Trained podcast with Angela Duckworth in it. It was awesome. You should go listen to it after this episode. But at the end, it talks about how the people who will deal with the stress the best will be those who manage their stress in the sense that, like, they don't try and just choke it down, but also those who look around and try to help others. This is a great time, if you're thinking about the long term, to push yourself to go out of your way to help other people. And that might just be a text message or a phone call that you're like, I'm not really emotionally in the mood to send this text, or I don't really feel like talking or feel social. But whenever you serve, it is guaranteed that you will feel better. And I believe that is one of the secret ingredients to being in this for the long haul, because you'll feel more of a sense of a community. You'll feel better in the moment. I think we'll feel more hope about the world as a whole, because it's really easy to get caught up in all of the really hard stuff that's going on.
Yeah. It's all a lot of the things that are being portrayed are negative.
And
I
scary.
think it's really, really important or necessary to kind of push that back and take a step back and realize, okay, what can I do? What can I control? What can I do within my power to make myself not only feel better, but be better? If that entails shooting a text message over to a friend who actually possibly has coronavirus, or doing service in a really small way for a spouse that maybe still has to work, that's a nurse, or
ding dong ditching your neighbors.
No, what? Why? What ding dong ditching your neighbors?
Yeah, like dropping off a treat or something.
Oh, no, that is not ding dong ditching. Ding dong ditching is annoying your neighbors and running away.
Oh, then what's it called when you drop the treat off and do it anonymously and ding their ding dong?
drop something off anonymous. Like,
No, that
Ding
doesn't-
dong.
It should have a catchy title.
everyone, you can shoot us an email or DM. Let us know if you think ding dong ditching entails always dropping stuff off.
No, it's not always dropping stuff off, but like in this sense, in this context, you're doing it servicely. So
that
ding
was
dong.
not insinuated.
You think I just want people to harass their neighbors?
Yeah, that's how it seemed. That's how I intended it.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. That's
When
100%
have I,
how I
when have I
understood
ever
it.
been like, let's go ding dong ditch our neighbors?
When have we ever
Is that-
just
is that
when have
an
we ever
aspect-
just dropped stuff off to people?
We used to do that all the time. Back when we had like super close neighbors, we would just drop off cinnamon rolls and cookies.
I would
all the
never
time.
knock. Never. I would just leave them there. That's why there was a note.
That is true. We didn't knock most of the time.
Ding dong
Good
ditching is
point.
like when you're like in 7th grade,
Okay,
you're like,
well,
duk, 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 duk.
okay, well, I would knock sometimes. Okay,
Anyway,
we would do it for
do
Christmas
service,
time.
guys. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, moving on from that one.
Whatever. Why do you get to decide?
Because we just went on a huge tangent and we're about to be out of time. Guys, do what you can to manage all this because we don't know when it's going to end. Prepare to be in it for the long haul. What we've been hearing, what we've been seeing is that they're still unsure of really what is going to fix this. So don't wait. Don't think, oh, when this ends or when I can finally finish that, or get started, even if it's baby steps. That's actually going to be better for you because you've kind of gotten the ball rolling aside from, oh, you know what, I'm going to work out 2 hours tomorrow. It's like, let's take a step back and let's start with 15 minutes today. And if you guys feel up to it tomorrow, 15, 20 minutes tomorrow, and an extra push-up or an extra sit-up or an extra lap around the house, or try your best in this time to be in it for the long haul.
Focus on things that you will be proud of yourself for doing in the future. You'll be grateful that you did it. I know that's a really corny quote. It's like, do something today that yourself will thank you for tomorrow, or whatever it is. But this is really the time to evaluate what matters most. What is bringing meaning to your life, and what do you need to leave behind? It's a time for us to have a little bit more time to pause and think and be more mindful of the decisions we're making, because we're not in such a rush. And there might be some of us who are way busier than they are. They might be busier now than they are normally.
I'm busy. At work, I go to work every day.
Yeah, you're busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you using this time to be more mindful of what you're doing with your time outside of work?
When I sit between appointments, outside of work, well,
Or like, you know,
when I sit between
overall.
appointments today especially, I got out of my truck because I had been sitting in it for about 40 minutes waiting for a lead, and I just started doing calf raises on a curb at the Quick Trip, which is a gas station.
You should put some dumbbells in your car.
And I did some stair steppers. Like I'd basically step up, step down, step up, step down, and I'd alternate feet, which one I would lead with. And then I did some stretching, but I did that for about 45 minutes, and it's one of those things where it's not that big of a deal. It's not that, oh wow, I
But
worked.
how'd you feel afterwards?
I mean, I felt good. I was glad I just didn't kind of just sit around forever, but it was one of those where I just realized, you know what, I can do something better. Or I listened to a podcast instead of music. It's those small things where I'm in it for the long haul, kind of preparing and building these habits so that I have them even when this is all over and I go back to a really busy normal schedule. Even though I'm still kind of busy now, it's obviously much slower because the economy is taking a hit. But I think when it comes to like projects, we've jumped into the podcast and kind of decided, you know what, let's record more episodes because it's more wholesome and more healthy time spent rather than just sitting and watching TV or laying around. It obviously it's great to do that, especially having a job, getting tired and going to work every day, but this also
It's
brings
just
a
a
sense of
balance.
energy, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's evaluating what your needs are, and if you're wanting more, you're craving more, then you need to start thinking, okay, what actions can I take today? What small thing can I do today to get me to where I want to be? And if you need to rest, you feel like you're overwhelmed, then find something that helps you slow down, that helps you disconnect in a positive way, that doesn't make you look for something that numbs,
not crack.
numbs a negative emotion. Not crack,
Not cocaine.
not cocaine, none of,
Not tobacco.
I think they get it. You don't need to list them all.
Don't huff paint.
Okay.
Don't eat paint chips.
So if we're looking for things that, and we're getting really off on a tangent, but find things that add value to your life, that make you feel better, that help you see things long term.
So guys, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know how we're going to wrap this up. Shoot us an email at takeitorleavittpodcast@gmail.com, or a DM or a PM. I guess a PM is something as well.
On Facebook. PM on Facebook, DM on Instagram.
Our Facebook at Take It or Leave It Podcast. If you guys have any questions, we also have phone numbers, but we're not going to release those on the podcast.
No, but if you have our phone number, then feel free to reach out to us and shoot us the information. Thanks for those of you who have sent information
if
over
you guys
text message or like asked us questions or given us props or things.
You can also shoot us messages at evanlevitt9 on Instagram. That's my personal handle. Sam is TheeSamm.
Correct.
The Sam on Instagram.
If you're looking for more health and fitness tips, I'm also the with 2 E's, Real Sam Fitness on Instagram. So if you're looking for more fitnessy type stuff, there's also some content that I put out there. I'm also doing more YouTube and blog posting. So we'd love for you to continue to listen. Write a review if you could.
Share this with your friends and family if you think they would get some benefits out of it.
Yeah, share it on your stories or on Facebook. That'd be awesome. We're so grateful for you guys. You guys make this worthwhile for us. Thanks for listening.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, YouTube. Peace out.